some people don't lose money through bad deals. They lose money through no deals. Welcome back to Milesh and Sadie Property Talks. We are on season 4. What would you do? I'm Sadie. I'm the founder of Sadie Pizzey Interiors. We specialise in renovation and construction projects.
And I'm Milesh, a property developer, strategic advisor, and the founder of The Property Edge, helping people make better property decisions.
In this series, we are talking through real dilemmas people face and how we'd approach them.
So today's episode is, do you keep waiting for the perfect deal or buy something good?
Yeah, so we are going to come from this from two different sides. I'm going to come from the design renovation side, and you're obviously going to come from the money side of things.
Yep.
And in my eyes, there is no such thing as a perfect property because those properties are overpriced, they are optimized, or they're already gone. And the idea for me of buying a property that is already done, I mean, it's like puts a bad taste in my mouth. It's just like, why? What a waste. What a wasted opportunity on all fronts.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, good.
But I guess it's about defining perfect.
Yeah.
So for some people, perfect is exactly what's completely not perfect for you.
Yeah, like a new build hell.
Yeah, just people just walk in with their suitcase and they're done.
I know.
That's perfect for some people. From a money side, as you called it,
Yeah.
investment perspective,
Okay, yeah.
perfect is run down, needs loads of work, boarded up windows, overgrown gardens, not been touched for 60 years. That type of thing is perfect from my perspective.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what is perfect? And I think knowing, again, business planning, which I talk about a lot.
Just a bit.
Because it's valid. It's all about that, right? You need to kind of know what your perfect is, and your perfect is going to be very different to somebody else's perfect. So I think understanding that is really, really important and something you want to get sorted early doors.
Because there are investors out there who don't want to buy construction projects, renovation projects.
Completely that. They just want yield based. They just want to park money and take the rental income, for example, and get a return on that money because it's working for them. And that's absolutely fine. And people are making good money out of it and crafting good careers out of it. They need, a lot of cash if they want to go big, and they have that. Yeah. So that is a model that absolutely works. Buying tenanted stock for investment purposes where the house is already in good condition, it's already tenanted. It's absolutely a model.
Okay. But if we look at it, let's look at it first of all from the deal perspective. So it is true, I imagine, that people get very hooked on this deal. I need to find the perfect deal. I don't want to waste my investment. Talk to me about that.
It's the definition of perfect, I think. That is so important, which we've just covered. There's a few things at play here, right? So perfect could mean that you're not going for deals, right? And that's the problem, which is the whole headline of the episode is good can still be good, even though it may not be perfect. I think a lot of it is really, if I'm honest, people don't really know what perfect looks like.
Okay.
And so is it a little bit of an excuse to not get going?
Yeah.
And it's about parameters, right? So if you're looking at it from a pure investment basis, one of the measures we use, is return on investment, ROI, or ROC, return on capital employed, means the same thing, which is essentially of the money that I'm leaving in this deal, when am I getting it back? And what is it earning for me as a percentage?
Okay.
Yeah, so when I first started 10 years ago, probably you're looking at 25+% ROI. So that means that if you put 100 grand in, then over 4 years, you've got your money back. 25% ROI. Nowadays, trying to find a 25% ROI deal is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Very hard to find. So the parameters need to change a little bit. So actually 10%, 15% might work for some people.
Yeah.
And so you look for deals around that. So I think being clear on what the perfect is and in line with what the market's doing is critical for finding what your perfect is.
And like you say, if you're stagnant and you're just holding off, then that money isn't doing anything.
Exactly. And that's the thing that people miss out on and don't really understand, because if you're waiting a year to find the perfect deal, well, what's happened to your cash in that year that you've got ready to go?
Yeah.
You've lost it. You've lost some of it just down to inflation, just because it's sat in your bank account.
Yeah.
So I think perfectionism versus a standard you want to sort of buy are two factors.
Mm-hmm.
Practice as well. If you're taking action, that's going to give you clarity as to what good or perfect is, and then that will enable you to decide whether you go or not.
Okay. Yeah.
In summary.
Okay, that makes sense. If I look at it from a homeowner side, and it might be that they're still moving up the ladder, you do see people really come unstuck trying to find the perfect property, which I know is different to the perfect deal. But it is that it's like, I think it's almost like the unicorn. Like there's this like tick list, and we all have it, of what we're looking for in a property. But you meet quite a lot of people that are very firm on that they don't want to do any renovation work. And what that does is it really limits what you are able to buy, and also what you are able to make on that property.
Yeah, and just quickly on unicorn, as you mentioned it, the unicorn deal from a deal perspective is where you can get all your money out.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so when people are like, well, I just want it to have, 5 beds, blah, blah, blah. It needs to look like this. It needs to have this flooring, etc. I mean, I'm slightly eye rolling, because I just think, why spend and waste all this energy trying to find this magical unicorn when you can create the unicorn?
Can you slightly eye roll, please? Just to demonstrate.
No, I'm not
just slightly.
Because actually, I think I'm really eye rolling. I don't really hold back very firmly. It's a bit like, I don't want to slag it off too much, but when friends sometimes say we're going to buy a new build because
it's easier,
and I want to scream and shout and say what a waste, because they tend to be a bit rubbish. I mean, they have got, I know, she's coming up big time for this. They have got better.
Apologies to any house builders listening.
All right. The 80s new build, if somebody buys that sort of an era of a house, I want to cry for them. But I do think, what a shame, because you are limiting actually what you're buying, and you're limiting the amount you can make on that house, because when you come to sell that new build, depending on the size of the area of it, when you hit those really big streets of all the same, you're bound to be hitting the market with another 10 on the market at the same time. So I think that's really disappointing. Whereas when you create the space yourself, when you renovate, then you can create what you want. Yes, of course, there is a budget, and everything costs money, and you need to factor all of that in. And that goes back to understanding your ROI at the beginning, and making sure that you buy at the right price, and you have a knowledge of what those construction costs are going to be. So you really do need to do your homework early on. And actually, we partner quite a lot with some property finders, because when they are looking for deals for clients, we will go in and look at a property with them early doors and say, look, this is what you can create, and these are the ball points that you're going to hit. And then that gives them the sort of information as to whether they want to move forward or not. Yeah,
well, I guess it produces a bit of a vision, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That not everyone can see.
No, that's very true. And, I do understand that it's timely and it's stressful and all of those things. But then I think it goes back to making sure that you've got the right team in place.
Yeah. And something we've talked about in a previous episode around, can you make your home into an investment?
Yeah.
It's that appetite, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
it is.
If there's somebody who has got the vision with your help of what that property could look like, they've then got to make a decision, right? To say, are we happy to move into it in its current condition?
Yeah.
Or can we make provision to live somewhere else, or delay the moving into that house so that we can get it to perfect?
Yes. And I guess that goes back to making sure that you've purchased the property at the right price in the first place. Because if you know that it's major construction work, you've got to move out for 12 months. You need to then factor in that you're paying rent for somewhere where you're also paying your mortgage. Along with all the construction costs that you're entering into. Yeah. So I do know that it's not an easy run, but when we go back to that fact of, are you going to try and make your property work for you? I think, and again, this is quite ballsy of me, I think it's stupid not to. because surely this is an opportunity to better your finances, whether you're going to use that because you're going to keep going up the ladder, or whether you're going to keep that house for a long term and then you'll sell it and the profits go to your kids. It's still an opportunity to make money. So why would you buy a property without that opportunity, in my eyes? And as this series is labelled, what would you do? I think I'm fine to state that.
Nice little disclaimer.
Yeah.
Catch all, get out.
Exactly.
Clause.
Before we get the hate mail from the new build developers. I'm very sorry. But I think there is so much that you can unlock in a property. And we do talk a lot about the fact that obviously you can extend it. And of course you can, and you can really significantly change a property. But just within the space of a property, often how it was originally built is not how it should be right for now. Right now, you can knock down walls, you can repurpose spaces, you can do so much. And that's without looking at sort of lighting and electrics and all your hard surfaces. It is, the possibilities are endless.
That's very true. It's a valid point. I agree. Again, it's balance, right?
Yeah.
Even if when we had our kitchen done, I was like in bits. I just didn't like living there.
That's hilarious.
So if we're going into something like that,
yeah,
then we're going to need to move somewhere else or factor that cost in.
Okay, it's true. You have got to know what you can stand.
What your tolerance is.
What your tolerance is. Because when we talked earlier about could you make your house work for you and therefore bring in a tenant, I know that I couldn't do that, but I am able to deal with quite a lot of dust and construction work. And maybe that's because that's what I do. So I'm on site surrounded by that a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's probably got a bit to do with it.
Yeah, I think it probably has.
And you understand the process.
And I understand the process,
and you know
yeah.
what you're doing.
Okay, fine. So, it's easier for me than other people. Okay. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, because if you have the right professionals working alongside you, some of my clients, they've bought a property at a great price. They haven't even moved into that property. They've moved straight into the rental. They've got their team in place. They visit site maybe once a month if they want, and the whole thing is taken care of for them. And at the end, they move into their perfect property, and they know that they have a great ROI on the property.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, I like it. And actually, it's just made me think, you can buy a good property and then make it perfect.
That's what the whole thing is in my eyes. I think that's the only way to do it.
From a development perspective, if you are buying something that doesn't quite fit your perfect,
yes,
then has it got scope down the line to make it perfect?
Yeah.
So, for example, what do I mean by that? So, if, for example, you're buying a house and it works on the rental and it delivers what you need, but it's not quite delivering what you want it to need, what you want from it ultimately, then if it works as a good purchase, call it, if there's scope to then put an extension on, or if there's scope to then put a couple of rooms in the loft or whatever it may be, you can get to that perfect.
Yes.
And buying the good one is your stepping stone to do that.
Yes.
As long as you know that the scope and the vision and the capability and likelihood is there.
Yes.
To get to that position.
I totally agree.
So from a deal perspective, perfect is the unicorn where all your money's out, or you're selling it and making hundreds of thousands of profit, where actually doing 3 or 4 at 50 grand each is going to be the same as finding one for 200.
Yeah.
So your parameters need to be flexible, and that's what sets you apart as somebody who's in the game from a professional perspective versus I'm a one-trick pony. I know exactly what I want and I'm not going to deviate in any way, shape or form from that.
Yeah.
Where you're going to end up with potentially money just burning a hole in your pocket until you find that perfect deal.
And it is the same for a homeowner that's looking for the right property, because it's the same again.
Yeah, same principle.
Same principle. They become fixated on finding this perfect property, and they don't move forward in life. So they don't actually get to move into that property and enjoy their life.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a whole mindset thing around being comfortable living there, being happy living there and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it may be that there's a stepping stone sort of process or 2 or 3 phase process. And actually life stages will determine what that is. And that perfect today isn't the same as perfect in 5 years' time.
No, that's
so that's
true.
another factor to kind of consider.
100%.
And just stay in the market.
Yes.
Stay involved, because making progress and keeping going on trying to find the deals will help you to determine what good versus perfect is and whether you should go for it or not.
And like you say, because it's ever changing, the market's constantly changing. So what perfect looks like is changing.
Yep. Let the opportunities come to you and then you decide whether you go forward or not, rather than no opportunities coming through to you and then you're doing nothing and you're no longer active.
And stagnation is bad.
Indeed.
And so are new builds. Only kidding.
Wow.
No.
You've really doubled down on new builds.
Oh, not at all. There's a place for them. Actually, going back to it, I think life phase is so important, because you're right. There are points in your life where you need to have easy and
convenience, ease, and you pay for that.
Yeah, and
even if it's a new build.
Yeah, and therefore I will say that for those times,
slight eye roll or no?
It was a big eye roll. For those times, go for your new build.
Have you ever bought a new build?
Surprise, surprise. I never have. No, I absolutely always buy the absolute worst property that I can find. And ideally with a lot of structural problems, because people won't touch them. And I am stupid enough to go into that. No, but knowledge is key, isn't it? As long as you understand it, you have the knowledge, you know what you're in for. That's how you can get these deals, though.
Yeah. Get the planning right at the start. Find the people who have knowledge if you don't have it yourself.
Yeah.
And then stay active. Keep going. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
There we go.
Well, hot seat time.
Here we go. Fine. So, hot seat is, we have analysed 30 properties in 12 months and bought none. Are we being smart or stuck? This goes back to obviously what we're talking about. And do you know what? I can so see how people get stuck in that rut. Because even when you're just buying your own home, and even if, you're not looking for perfect, you get so but is this the one? Am I actually going to pull, go for this one, or should I just hold out?
Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying in the episode, go around consistency and just staying active. From an investment point of view, I had between 30 and 40 offers out in any one time.
Wow.
So not just view, you've got to get the offers in there as well. So I'd be, if it is for investment, my question back would be, how many have you offered on?
Yeah.
And if not, if you haven't offered on any, or if you've offered on 29 and not 30, then why not all 30?
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Because your criteria is your criteria, and you need to be clear on that.
Yeah.
And this is all about relationships and finding that one that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, because we're looking for stuff that's run down, people have a misconception of what their house is worth versus what it's actually worth.
Yeah.
Estate agents will also have a view, and we'll leave that there. And if you're fixed on your criteria and your requirements and what will and won't work for you from a numbers perspective, I would be arguing that you offer on 80 to 90, if not 100% of all the properties that you view. Why? Because you should only be viewing that property if there's a slight chance or a reasonable chance that you would go on and purchase it. Otherwise, you're doing viewings for viewing sakes.
Okay, fine.
Right? So understand your numbers. Know what you need to do from a desktop perspective. So when we're doing commercial to resi stuff, we spend about, it used to be about 2.5, 3 hours before we phoned the agent up to book a viewing.
Wow.
There's that much work to do up front.
Substantial.
We've streamlined it and using AI and all that stuff to reduce that time down. But there's a lot that you can do without seeing the actual property to determine whether it's a potential deal or not.
Okay.
So when you get to viewing stage, viewing isn't your first stage. Viewing needs to be your validation stage.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the structure or the makeup of the building? Is there any issues with the plot? The stuff that you can only do when you go and see the property is all you should be doing that viewing for. All the stuff up front around your numbers and this and that and the other should all be done up front.
And so actually from viewing the property, the only change then should be on what you're going to offer on it. Because if you're there and you've noticed that, say, it's got damp, you know that you're taking X off.
And the cost is going to be X for doing that.
Yeah.
And then what does that? Then revisit my overall numbers and decide what I can offer on. People get nervous about that. People don't like doing it because if it's up for 200 grand, or down here, if it's up for 500 grand and it only works at 350, no one wants to have that conversation.
No. Do you explain why you're offering?
And that's the gold.
Fine.
So we said before on this and previous episodes, agents like to be informed. From just look at it from an agent perspective. They've got millions of people walking in saying, I'm a professional property investor. Here's my business card. I'm looking for stuff that's below market value. They have to entertain them. And if they then go and do viewings with them and then these people never come back, it's dead time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it will stand you out if you go back to the agent and say, look, you know what my criteria is. I've been and viewed this one. It doesn't work because of X, or it works at this price, which may be a little way off what the asking price is because of Y.
Yeah.
And if the clearer you are with that and the more evidence you can provide with that, the better. Now, some people don't do that because, I'm giving the agent all the intel on what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do and all that. You can still do it at a high level enough to protect your USP or what you might be thinking about the property that others wouldn't have.
Yeah.
While still giving the agent that feedback.
Yeah. And it can really get you over the line. We have done it before and we've written like a full letter and then that's been, given to the seller and they've then understood and they've given it to us at that price. So
yeah. And also the other thing is follow up.
Yeah.
So yes, you've done 30 viewings and all that. If you haven't offer, and if you have offered, make sure you've got a follow-up system in place, whether that's a spreadsheet, whether that's a reminder in your calendar, don't care. Just make sure you've got something for it and keep revisiting. Build your credibility with the agent. It shows that you're still around, shows that you're serious, and it shows that you're keen to buy.
And like you say also, because what is it, 1 in 3 properties fall through.
Yep.
So if you've been to view one that hasn't quite stacked up, then it falls through a few months later.
Yep.
You've got more reason
Keep
to
an
offer
eye on it. All about systems, processes, and follow-ups are everything. So at some point, it's not about finding the perfect deal. It's about making a decision.
And having this vision to see what something could become, not just what it is now.
That's what separates people who move forward from those who stay stuck.
If you're looking at properties and struggling to see the potential, that is exactly where we come in. We help bring that clarity.
And if you need support on the strategy side, deciding what's a good deal and when to move, I'm always happy to help.
If you have enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to like, subscribe and follow us on our socials. And if you have a question for the hot seat, then leave it in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next episode.